One of the biggest challenges we face as gigging drummers is space management. Sometimes a venue has all the room you need, and other times, not so much.
So today, we're taking a look at 4 of our current favorite compact setups to help you make the most of the space you have.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Adam.
And I'm Tony.
And we work at the Drum Center of Portsmouth, the largest independently owned drum store in the world. All of the drums and cymbals that you see in today's video will be available for purchase. I'm going to put the links to purchase them in the description below. If you follow our channel at all, you may be familiar with our previous Best Compact Kits video, but that was over 5 years ago now, if you can believe it. So we figured it was time for a refresher.
Yeah, and we wanted to kind of take a slightly different approach to this one and really focus on the shallow bass drum. How far your bass drum sticks out is really a huge part of the overall equation of the drum set size.
I don't have a problem. It's you guys who keep looking at it.
So we wanted to really focus on bass drums that were 12 inches or even shallower.
And not for nothing, these type of videos, they're a lot of work, right?
Yeah, they are.
So if you appreciate this type of content, why not subscribe to our channel? It's a great way to stay informed on all things drums and an easy way to support our independently owned drum shop. Let's get right into the first kit. This Tama Club Jam Pancake 4-piece is definitely the smallest footprint out of all the compact kits that we're showcasing today, and it also happens to be the most affordable. The sizes are an 18x4 bass drum without a mount, 10x3.5 rack tom, 13x3.5 floor tom, and a matching 12x4 snare. These very shallow toms are concert style in that they don't have any resonant heads. And the shells are made from poplar, so they are very warm sounding as it is a softer, more porous wood. The 18x4 kick drum doesn't have a mount, so you'll need to hang the 10-inch tom from a stand using the included Tama multi-clamp L-arm. And the heads are a generic Tama branded single-ply head. Hey Tony, what do you think about the sound of the Tama Pancake 4-piece compact drum set?
Well, Adam, I thought they were a lot of fun to play. They're very punchy, of course. I mean, they're super shallow. They respond very quick, especially with the single-headed construction. The bass drum actually sounded awesome. I really enjoyed the bass drum. It was very responsive.
Did you find it challenging to play with the feel being so shallow?
Definitely different. You play a little bit, you'll get used to it and it won't feel super strange anymore. It is a lightweight drum, so it does move a decent amount when you play, which again, you'll get used to. The toms have this really kind of, I don't know, they're inspiring because they're different sounding. And I think that's like a cool thing about a kit like this, is it is a little different. And the snare drum was super punchy and snappy, and it had that crisp kind of thing. And I like the fact that it's a 4-inch depth instead of like a 12x5 or something. It was a really fun drum to play.
Yeah, it seemed to stay in tune pretty well too, considering.
It really did. I was surprised at how well these stayed in tune.
The design of these ultra shallow shells isn't by accident, because these will all fit neatly into 2 transport bags, which is great for gigging, but you will need to purchase those separately.
For the cymbals, I went with some Meinls on this kit, and for the hi-hats, we have the Benny Greb designed pure alloy quicksand hats, which I really enjoy, an 18-inch Byzance Polyphonic crash, and the Matt Halpern designed 21-inch double down crash ride. And that was a cool cymbal.
Yeah, I really like the sound of this. It's a great all-purpose ride, crash ride. Love the bell. Good choice. I will admit that when we chose this SessionGo from Rhythm Tech to be in this showcase, I was a little bit skeptical. I know Rhythm Tech makes great percussion instruments, but an entire drum set, yeah, I was a little wary about. Off rip, I was pleasantly surprised unboxing this kit because it was the only one that came nested in 2 quality gig bags, which is nice if you're going to be using a compact kit to do some gigging with. The SessionGo has a small footprint with a configuration of an 18x7 bass drum, a 10x7 rack tom, and a 14x9 floor tom. Now these toms are concert tom design, so they have no resonant head. Also included is a handy cymbal boom arm with a clamp, which makes this footprint even smaller.
The shells on these drums are made of poplar, which kind of has a lower fundamental note and volume compared to some other harder woods. And that kind of goes along with what they were trying to achieve with these drums, making them have a kind of less projecting type sound. They did a good job with that. The UC heads that come stock on this kit work really well on the bass drum, but they did leave a little something to be desired on these toms. So we swapped out the UCs for some clear Remo P4s. Once we put these heads on, I really feel like they started to speak, and they have a nice kind of thuddy, low, kind of wet kind of sound to them, reminiscent of 70s type drum sounds.
Yeah, these new heads just brought new life into this kit. So if you are considering the SessionGo kit, we would absolutely recommend that you drop an extra $50 on some quality Remo USA heads, and it just makes all the difference.
For the snare drum, we went with a 14x6 British drum company Raven snare drum. We love this drum. It's a nice, snappy, kind of semi-dry, but like really responsive drum, and I opted to tune it a bit lower for this because of the way that the toms sounded, and kind of muffle it a bit with these snare weight M1s, and I really enjoyed the way it sounded. For the cymbals, I wanted to try out some dream models that I have not played before, so I started over here with the 14-inch Energy hi-hats, which have a really nice kind of dark but not overly complex sound. The 18-inch Contact Crash Ride, which was a really nice, just straight up the middle crash ride type sound. And then over here is a 20-inch Energy Crash Ride.
Yamaha Stage Custom Hip 4-piece compact drum set was featured in our previous compact kits video over 5 years ago. And what's changed? This is a 100% birch kit, so it gives you a ton of punctuated projection and remains one of the best values in compact kits. And the sizes are a 20x8 bass drum with a mount, a 10x5 rack tom, a 13x8 snom, and a matching 13x5 snare drum.
The snom on this kit is probably the biggest standout, especially compared to the other kits that we're featuring today. If you're not familiar with what a snom is, basically you have a floor tom, and then with a simple flip of the snare throw off, you have a deep sounding snare drum.
It sounded great in the room. It sounded very pre-EQ'd to me. It sounded like a snare drum with like a ton of reverb on it. Really fat, very cool. The hardware on the Stage Custom hip isn't flashy, but it's made by Yamaha, so you know it's gonna hold up night after night, gig after gig. The tom holder is heavy duty. You got a memory lock there. The floor tom legs feel pretty sturdy. And the heads are proprietary. These are actually made by Yamaha in their Stage Custom factory. So they aren't Remo, UTs, or UCs. And they sound like stock drum heads.
This kit's a lot of fun to play. I really enjoy the bass drum size. I think the 20x8 is just a really cool, very responsive kick drum. And in this instance, I didn't even put any muffling inside of it, and I felt like it was easy enough to control. The 10 sounded great. The snare drum is nice and articulate. And then of course the floor tom gives you that flexibility with the snom element.
And I love the feedback you get back from this kit, being 100% birch. You hit the drum, you get the note, projects great, gets out of the way. This is a really fun setup.
Cymbal-wise, I wanted to pick something I felt matched the vibe of the kit, and I went with the new Sabian Stratus dry models. I have 15-inch dry hats, 19-inch dry crash, and a 22-inch dry ride. This is actually also available as a pack, so if you want to get the whole thing, it's pretty easy, and I really enjoyed them. They're articulate, dry, and kind of trashy, and I like them.
Now we're stepping it up a level with this Rogers Tower limited edition 3-piece drum set in green marine pearl. And this showed up on our loading dock not too long ago, and once I unboxed it, I couldn't wait to hear it because this kit has some cool vintage vibes, it's in great sizes, and just looks fun to play.
Tight.
Oh, what is this in front of my...
I got a spider.
Oh my God, there's a spider on my face.
Eat it. We have a 22x10 bass drum with a mount, a 12x8 rack tom, and a 16x16 floor tom.
The Tower series is fashioned after Rogers' 1960s aesthetics. The shells are their proprietary 5-ply maple poplar with 2-ply re-rings, and the interiors are finished in a fruit wood stain, which I love.
Fruit!
The hardware has a cool look with the classic center mount beaver tail die-cast lugs, triple flanged hoops, and the bass drum mounted tom arm is their low profile Ultramatic tom mounting system with a hex L-rod ball joint arm. And it doesn't look like the sturdiest thing at first glance, but it actually functions very well.
The snare drum that I went with is a 14x5 Rogers Powertone snare and a 70s black Oyster finish. It has 2.3mm triple flanged hoops and the same 5-ply shell that's featured on the Tower drums. For the cymbals, I kind of wanted to match the classic sound of these drums with classic sounding cymbals. So I went with the Istanbul Agop Xist line, 15-inch traditional finish hi-hats, 17-inch Brilliant Crash, and a 21-inch traditional finish ride, and I love these cymbals. They're always super nice to play.
Sound-wise, I thought these definitely brought a little bit of a different vintage kind of tuned up tone to it, but still has some low end.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they have more of a kind of singy kind of quality to them. I mean, I didn't tune them super low either. They're kind of like in a medium range, but they have that really kind of lively, energized, kind of like 70s type sound. I found them really fun to play. I think, again, a 22 by 10 inch bass drum is a super cool thing. You can obviously modify it quite a bit with the head selection, but I really like the way it sounded. They held their tuning well too, which is always a nice thing.
Yeah. Yep, they sound great in the room, and I love the finish. The Green Marine Pearl is classic and really fun kit. So there you have it, 4 different compact drum setups, and each one was a little bit unique. Each one had something that I liked. Which one do you think was your favorite?
Oh, geez. Well, I think the Stage Custom Hip is the most kind of unique and inspiring because of that snom thing, which I can't stand saying that word, but it's a thing. Yeah. The Rogers kit probably sounded the most like a real kit. I guess if I had to choose one for me personally with the way that I play, it would probably be the Stage Custom Hip. Just tons of flexibility, and it kind of inspired me to play.
Yeah, the Yamaha Stage Custom Hip is a really nice setup. I was pleasantly surprised by the rhythm tech. I really liked the sound that we got out of those drums. The bass drum for me was probably the best sounding. Yeah. Tons of low end. And once we put those P4s on the toms, I thought they sounded great. But for the price, I really like the Tama too. Can't go wrong there. So it's really up to you. Let us know what you thought in the comments below about which one was your favorite and which one you liked the least.
So if you like this video, make sure that you drop a like, subscribe. It really helps, and we appreciate it.
And from all of us here at the Drum Center of Portsmouth, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see you in the next one.